It's almost impossible not to do this. Hello, bass family. Geddy Lee's bass tone is the stuff of legends. Most bass players are familiar with the sound of his 72 Jazz, but can you still get a sound if you play a different kind of bass? On February 12, 1981, Rush released Moving Pictures. For many, this is the classic era of Geddy tone. This landmark album features several of Rush's most well-known tunes. You've got Tom Sawyer, Red Barchetta, Limelight, YYZ. Now, no one sounds quite like Geddy, but we're going to see how close we can get with 5 different basses. We've got the obligatory Fender Jazz and a Rickenbacker, a Squire P bass with flats, a Ken Smith, and even a fretless Ibanez. Before we can get into playing the basses, there are a few things you'll want to do on every bass to get as close as you can to Geddy's Moving Pictures. First, let's talk about playing technique. Geddy's style has changed over the years. In the earliest days of Rush, Geddy angled his fingers back toward the bridge, and over time he reversed this angle and developed his flamenco picking style. Moving Pictures era Rush sits right about in the middle of this transition. You'll want to play over the neck pickup, mostly with your index finger. Now on to the gear. You'll want to set up your bass with low action and a fresh set of steel strings. Geddy uses rotosounds, but you can get close with pretty much any set of light gauge steel strings. Next up, you'll want to add some grit and set up your amp. If you have a SanAmp, you'll get there quickly enough by turning up the character and the treble knobs with just a touch of drive. There's a Geddy Lee signature model of SanAmp, but I wouldn't sweat that if you already have another model of the bass driver. In this video, I'm using a Kemper Profiling amp with one of their SanAmp profiles. Side note, love the Kemper. As a final step, add a fair amount of compression to dial up the punch. In this case, I'm using the soft tube FET compressor in Reason, with the ratio set somewhere between 3:1 and 4:1, and fast attack and release settings. It will vary a bit by bass. Pedal compressors work fine too, and you can get by without one, but if you have it, use it. First up, we have a jazz bass. This is not the Fender Geddy Lee signature model, but it does have an alder body, a maple neck, and a badass bridge. This parts bass has DiMarzio Ultra Jazz pickups and an Aguilar OB1 preamp. However, I'm going to skip the preamp and run the bass in passive mode with the tone up and the bridge pickup rolled off. Will it, Geddy? It better. Next up, we have a 1978 Rickenbacker. Geddy used several Ricks starting in 1975 and used them all the way through the Signals tour in 1984. You can hear his Rick clearly on Red Barchetta. Amazing bass playing right there. He played over the bridge pickup on the Rick, which is positioned further forward than the bridge pickup on most basses. Will it, Geddy? Surely. Now we're moving further outside of Geddy territory. Sure, early on he had a P bass that he carved into the shape of a teardrop, but he's always been a round wounds kind of guy. This Squire Classic Vibe 60s precision bass is completely stock and is strung with a decade-old set of flats. Maybe you play yacht rock or in a roots band, you only brought one bass to the gig, and it's the drummer's birthday. They want to go out on a limb and play some Rush. Well, play what you got. Will it, Geddy? Let's see. It's almost impossible not to do this. Now we're getting pretty far afield. Ken Smiths are known for a very specific sound, and I know I've never seen Geddy on stage with a 6-string bass. This BSR 6P has a mahogany body with a maple top and back, beautiful, a Murado fingerboard, and it's strung with a fresh set of Ken Smith Rockmasters. The bass only runs in active mode. There is no passive mode. The pickups are also placed further back. That's a big part of why Ken Smiths have that kind of burpy, really strong low-mid presence. Will it, Geddy? On to the last bass. We're in some really odd territory here. This is an original Ibanez GWB1. Remember that time Gary Willis was jamming to YYZ? Yeah, me neither. Have to say, I love this bass though, and Ibanez just released a 20th anniversary model. What we have here is a fretless bass with only a bridge pickup. All right, one last time, say it with me. Will it Geddy? I'm not so sure. So what have we learned here? For my money, the Rick and the Jazz definitely capture the sound most closely, but you can get by with just about any fretted bass once the bass is in the context of the band mix. The fretless, not so much. Thanks for watching, and happy Moving Pictures Day. Which Rush album has your favorite bass tone? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to click like and subscribe for more videos.